Okay, friends, so this video is going to be kind of an overview of homeschooling. I came to homeschooling when I was pregnant with my first son. I was in Barnes & Noble and I found the book, The Well-Trained Mind. And something about the book just looked interesting to me. So I got it and I was looking through it, and it was such a well-planned, well thought out plan for your child's education. I was so intrigued. I had never heard of classical education. I had never heard of the trivium. This is, my background is I went to public school and I have my bachelor's degree in French, but I did not know about the trivium, which is logic, critical thinking, and then rhetoric, I believe. So I was just blown away about this style of learning. Now, I was really good in school. I would say for the most part, I enjoyed school. I, for the most part, enjoyed my learning. I enjoyed the activities and anyway, so the thought of teaching my own child didn't seem onerous at all, because I was one of those moms that from the moment I knew that I was pregnant, it was like tiger mom set in. Like I want to do my absolute best for them. I think probably the majority of moms feel that, and just wanted the thought of getting to have that extra time with them was, or him at that time, that's all I knew, was a good thing rather than a bad thing. When you get older, it's like, oh my goodness, like I need a break. I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just, excited at the thought that I could be his teacher. So I bought that book. I think it was almost $40 at that time, which for me to spend that on a book was kind of extreme. But I devoured that book. I read it so carefully. Through so many times. I think I said what it is, The Well-Trained Mind by Jessie Wise and Susan Wise Bauer. I still highly recommend it. It's a great book. Now, I know I said that when I bought it, it was from Barnes & Noble and it was like $40, but I have since found a website. I'm not sure if that book is on there, but it's called thriftbooks.com. And I'll leave that in the description box below in this video if anyone wants to go look. Maybe you could find that book, and I will leave the title and the author in the description box as well. I found that book very, very useful in our homeschooling journey. So that's where we got started. And there are a lot of other things too. If you go looking for homeschool resources, you're going to find a ton. My next interest after that was also Montessori. Now, classical education is very much book oriented. And having a small child, I started to see that there was only so much I could do. So during those early years, I started researching Montessori. And I found a beautiful company that is called michaelolaf.com. And not only do they have beautiful Montessori resources, things for them to work with and to do their learning with, they also had some catalogs or books that they sell that are written by the people that own the store, and they are really beautiful and interesting, and I highly recommend those as well. They have really pared down the store to just a few select items, but if you're just kind of wondering about different philosophies, I think that reading the book from that site, for me, it was even more enlightening than reading Maria Montessori's own works. It was just a little bit more accessible. She was a doctor, and it was a long time ago, so when she developed her theories. So this is nice just to have a modern perspective and someone who has been able to see it in action. Whereas Maria Montessori, she was kind of, she was in real time seeing what was happening, seeing what needed to go, what needed to stay, things like that. So I found it very beneficial. michaelolaf.com, and I'll leave that link in the description box also. Now, there are many great free resources for homeschooling online. When times of crisis hit and you just can't wrap your mind around it, or you're not interested necessarily in philosophies like educational philosophies, which I have 5 kids, so there were days, months that maybe I had a newborn, or we were just getting on our feet, or someone was sick and I knew we needed to do homeschool, but I was just like, my mind was not fully invested in it. All-in-one homeschooling.com is what got me through those days. And especially for the earlier years, I think it's fabulous. And I only say that because I haven't done, my oldest child is in 6th grade. So beyond 6th grade, I don't know. But she has so much stuff. She is a homeschool mom who is also a missionary. So if you are a Christian and you're looking for one that has, a Christian worldview, she does. This would be a great one. It's not so much that if you were a secular homeschooler or of a different faith, I don't know, you can try it out and see what you think about it. But she is Christian. She does have Bible, a Bible section in it for the older grades. And the younger grades are more about ABC and things like that. So definitely check that out. It has been seriously a lifesaver for me in those times to keep the ball rolling. And my kids really enjoy, like the littler one. She's got ones for, anybody can do it really little, like ABC videos and things like that. And it's fun for my littler ones to get to do school and have that satisfaction that they completed their day's work. There's also printables, or you can order books. If you have a printer, you could print it for free, or you could order the book, and you could even do it without that. So, but she has lots of links to really cool games like logic games and math games. It's really great. So some other free resources are Khan Academy. I'll leave that in the box below. There's lots of different things you could learn on there. I personally like Khan Academy. My kids don't so much love it, and I'm not sure why, but I don't know. DuoLingo is another one. My kids actually do love DuoLingo. I'll leave that in the description box. It's a language learning site. And they have so many languages you can choose from. They've got, of course, Spanish, French, Italian, German, even more than that. I want to say they may even have an Irish Gaelic, because I was like, that would be so cool. So that, and there's also something called LibriVox. So I know all the libraries are closed, like the public libraries. LibriVox, I'll leave the spelling of it in the box below. But LibriVox recordings are, some older works of literature are in the public domain. And if they are, you can read it. You can even have like a dramatized version, you know, if you want to do that with other people. And then you can put it on YouTube. That's the only way I know about LibriVox recordings. But you can look into that. They're really nice. The way I came into it, I'm going to move into another learning philosophy, and that is Charlotte Mason. Charlotte Mason was an English educational philosopher, and most of her thoughts were on living books, which is actual stories about actual people or phenomenon that were written in a story form, are better or easier to learn from than like a textbook that has a lot of abstract things just right after another. So like a living book, instead of a textbook, which would be like the Civil War happened, you know, during these dates, this many people were involved, you know, these were the states involved, this is what the conflict was about, you know, just kind of like dot, sort of like a bullet list of what happened, you know. To actually read a story about a person that was in the Civil War would lead to more of an understanding of the importance of the Civil War. And then all those little things like the dates and stuff, that can be learned after. But first you need to get a sense of like why you should even learn about it. Why is it even important? And living books are, you know, the best thing we have next to, you know, like our mom or dad or grandpa or somebody telling the stories about their own life. So I love Charlotte Mason. It is very reading heavy in a way, just because your textbooks are living books, but it's also, there's a big emphasis on nature and developing your own interests, and that don't involve video games, you know, like maybe drawing or painting or whittling or music or things like that. But anyway, there is a free curriculum that's been put together by moms, educators who use this. Really, it's only homeschoolers, I think, that use this philosophy that I know of, and it is called Ambleside Online. It is a completely free, comprehensive schedule, list of resources. It's a free curriculum online. It's pretty amazing. If